It's getting dark, boss. Maybe we should bed down for the night.
Yeah, perhaps you're right. We could shelter in that gas station.
Okay, boss. Although I'm not sure about the neighbors.
Did you hear that?
What?
The scream.
I think it's probably best to pretend we didn't.
Did you two hear something just now?
No, boss.
Weird, I swear. I heard a scream. Oh well. What's that?
Ghouls.
And dogs.
And a phantom scream!
Oh my.
So thanks for joining me for another game of Wasteland Warfare by Bethesda. This can be played on 3x3 board. We're going to have our caravan being attacked by an endless swarm of ghouls and mongrels, so whenever they die they're going to respawn on a random board edge. No set rounds for this. If one of the caravan members go down, we're going to introduce you to another couple of characters, and it's going to kick off a whole heap of new trouble. So let's get started with round 1. So top of round 1, we're going to have Clark, our caravan guard, take a couple of shots long distance into the ghoul at the front. First shot's a miss, second shot's a hit, and that's 2 damage. First of our 2 mongrels are going to take a couple of moves down the board to try and get into close combat. Our second guard, Tammy, is going to take 2 shots into that mongrel. Hit for 3 damage. That's a crit. And that mongrel's down for the count. So he's going to spawn on a random board edge. So it's going to be board number 1. So it's going to be at the top. Our second mongrel is going to take a couple of moves down the board. Our caravaneer, Mr. Beans, is going to take 2 shots into that mongrel. And that's 2 big ol' misses.
Oh, Beans!
And to finish off the round, our 3 ghouls are going to take 2 moves straight forward, try and get in combat. So we're going to start round 2 by looking at the event card. Swarm of flies. Don't think we're going to be worried about lockpicking skills at the moment. So again, we're going to start with our caravan guard Clark. He's going to take 2 shots into that mongrel. That's a hit for 2 damage. That's a big old hit for 4 damage and an armor break. So that mongrel's dead. Again, he's going to spawn on a random edge. That's again number 1, so he's going to come in at the top of the board. Our first ghoul is going to take a move and a charge into Clark. Mr. Beans is going to take a move round to the side. And then he's going to try hitting that ghoul that's just charged in. Once again, that's a miss. Our second ghoul is going to take 2 moves down the board. Tammy's going to shoot into that ghoul that's just moved. That's a hit for 2 damage. That's a big old blast for 4 damage. So that Ghoul's also down. He's going to respawn in board edge number 2, so that's across to the side. Our third Ghoul's going to move down the board a couple of times. To finish off the round, the mongrel that spawned at the top is going to move straight forward down the board. So over to round 3. Let's have a look at the event card. An uninvited guest, so we're going to have to draw a pensioner. Right, so they're going to come in at a random board edge. It's going to be the top there. Our mongrel has just respawned at that edge, so I guess the doggo's taking the pensioner for a walk. Clark's going to take 2 knife attacks into the ghoul. First one's a miss, second one's do 2 damage. Ghoul's going to take 2 swipes into beans. First one's 2 damage. Second one's a miss. Beans is going to try hitting that ghoul back again. That's a crit with an armor break. So that ghoul is down for the count. For his second attack, he's going to take a shot into the mongrel in the middle of the board. In true to form, that's a big old miss. The ghoul's going to charge into Tammy and try taking a hit. That's 4 damage. Blocks 2 of it. Tammy's going to hit back. Or rather miss back. Our ghoul's going to take a move. And then a charge to get into combat with those guys. Our mongrel's going to take a slow plod across the road with his pensioner in tow. Kids, no good. And our other mongrel's going to take a short move up the board, and then they're going to charge into combat as well. So we're going to kick off round 4 by looking at the event card. That's Stampede. There's only going to be one character within red of the board edge, which is the ghoul at the bottom, so unfortunately he's going to test at the end of the round. So Clark's going to do a couple of attacks into the mongrel, and that's 2 misses. The mongrel's going to try biting back into Clark. That is a crit. Second attack is a miss. Mr. Beans is going to attack the ghoul. That's 2 damage on that ghoul, and that ghoul's down. And he's going to try hitting the mongrel. And that's a miss. My third ghoul is going to take a couple of attacks into Tammy. First attack, that's 4 damage. Doesn't block any of it, so Tammy is down for the count. He's going to charge in. Ghoul number 1 is going to take a move. And then he's also going to take a charge to get into combat. So our 2 survivors are pretty much surrounded there.
They're everywhere.
Tammy's down.
Sorry, boss. I think this is it.
What the hell?
Looks like you boys needed a hand.
Thanks. You turned up just in time.
How's Tammy?
She'll be right as rain after a rest. Let's get her to the station.
Thanks again. Who are you, anyway?
I'm Earl. This here's Ray. We're hunters.
What are you hunting? Ghouls?
Something much worse. The Ripper.
What's the Ripper?
An insane protectron. Started ripping the flesh off of people and wearing it. We're here to put an end to it.
My gods.
So it's time to introduce you to our additional players who've entered the match now. We've got Ray and Air, a couple of ghoul boys who run Hillbilly Barbecue. Let's have a look at their stats. And we're also going to be joined by this horrendous creature, the Skin Ripper. So, new area. We're going to be into the scrapyard. We're going to have to get round there. get to the terminal to shut down the Skin Ripper before he attacks them. So round 5, event card is damp air. It means any blank green dice are going to be treated as a -1. So to kick off, Ray's going to turn around and he's going to take a couple of shots into that pool there. That's a hit for 2 damage. Second one's a miss. The Ghoul's going to respond by charging into Clark in the middle of the board. That's a hit with an armor break, and he blocks all the damage. Mr. Beans is going to take 2 move up the board. He's got the best hacking skills. He's going to get to that terminal to try and shut down the Ripper. Second Ghoul's going to take a charge and attack into Clark. That's a hit with an armor break. He takes 2 damage from that. Earl's going to turn round. He's going to take a shot into that third Ghoul down there. That's a hit for 3 damage. And then he's going to take a single move. Give his new friend some cover. Ghoul's going to charge into combat there as well. And that's a miss. And to finish off this round, the Ripper's going to take 2 moves. And he's actually going to be able to get into close combat with our friend Mr. Beans in the middle of the board. So for round 6, we have to draw a danger card. Let's see what happens there. Back problems. So let's roll a random dice. It's number 1. It's going to be Mr. Beans. He passes his test. So true to 80s horror film fashion, he's going to stumble out of the way of the Ripper there. I know I'm kind of taking liberties a little bit, taking him out of close combat, but why not? It's a horror film. And then he's going to take 2 moves to try and get into that terminal. The Ghoul there is going to take a couple of hits into Clark. That's a hit. He takes 2 damage. Second one's a miss. Clark's going to respond by trying to hit his Ghoul friend off to the side there. That's a hit. And that third Ghoul's down. He's going to turn around and try and do a shot into one of the other ones. And that's a miss. The Ghoul in the middle is going to take a couple of shots into Clark. And it's a couple of misses. Ray's now going to charge into combat with that Ghoul. He's going to hit. That's 4 damage. Ghoul takes all of it, so he is down for the count. The Ripper's going to take his slow plod across the board to try and catch up with Mr. Beans. And to finish off this round, Earl is going to take 2 moves up the board. So those Ghouls have respawned at the edges of the scrapyard. Let's see what happens in round 7. So event card for this round. Our 2 leaders are Mr. Beans and the Ripper there. So Mr. Beans passes, the Ripper fails his attack, so he takes 2 damage. So Beans is going to move into contact with the computer. He's going to try a hack test. He passes the hack test. So thankfully he's managed to shut down the Ripper just before it gets to him.
Whew, that was close.
Let's mop this up.
Whooey!
Are you sure this thing's dead?
Pretty much.
Should we maybe do something with it?
Nah, leave it here to rust. Best place for it.
Well, if you're sure, we should probably go check on Tammy anyway.
Yeah, it ain't going anywhere. Think it's the last anyone will see of the old Ripper here.
So thanks once again for joining me for another narrative battle report for Fallout Wasteland Warfare. I really do appreciate that you guys are joining me every week to see what everybody's up to. I've also started a Patreon now. It's got a survey on it so you can vote for the MVP from the survivors. I think I've got a sneaking suspicion who's going to win the vote, so if you're interested, join me over there, totally free to join. And there's a link in the description below. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one.